No matter what you do, your notes sound buzzy? Do you feel like it's very tiring or even painful to play for an extended period of time? Well, chances are you have to double check your finger positioning. No matter if you're playing single line melodies or chords, positioning your fingers correctly is crucial in maintaining a clean and sustainable technique. Stay tuned to find out about those 5 simple rules to ensure you can play nice and clean notes effortlessly for as long as you want. Now grab your guitar and let's get to it. Hello everyone, this is Guitar Tips with András. In today's video we're going to discuss my 5 main rules for finger positioning. I offer online guitar lessons, so as always, if you need help with any of this, make sure you reach out to me on my website today to get 50% off your first guitar lesson. Before we discuss the 5 main rules of finger positioning, let's first clarify some of the basics. So what exactly are these things that are sticking out of your palm? Well, in guitar land, we call this the thumb. This is the first finger or index finger. This is the second finger or middle finger. This is the third finger or ring finger. And finally, this is the fourth finger or the pinky. Okay? So thumb, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright? Mainly, we only use the fingers to play notes on the guitar. Yes, it's possible to use the thumb as well to play low notes, but we're not going to discuss this technique in today's video. It's needless to say it's easier and definitely more efficient to make use of all 4 fingers rather than just using a single finger to play everything. Because of this, the guitar's fretboard can be organized into 4 fret units called the positions. So what are positions? Let's say the song you're playing only has notes on the 1st fret, the 2nd fret, the 3rd fret and the 4th fret. In this scenario, ideally you want to use your index finger to play anything that might happen on the 1st fret on any of the strings. The 2nd finger for playing anything that happens on the 2nd fret. The 3rd finger for playing notes on the 3rd fret. And the 4th finger for playing notes on the 4th fret. This song is in the 1st position. Let's say the song you want to play has some notes on the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret and 5th fret. In this situation, you're going to have to distribute your fingers like this. First finger is responsible for everything that happens on the 2nd fret. The 2nd finger is responsible for everything that happens on the 3rd fret. The 3rd finger for the 4th fret. 4th finger for the 5th fret. This song would be in the 2nd position, and so on. So the position you're playing in is always named after the fret that your index finger is responsible for. Let's see an example. So this piece of melody this is played in the 1st position. Even though I used some open strings in it, this still qualifies. So the 1st finger went on the 1st fret, the 3rd finger went on the 3rd fret, and that's it. Let's see another example. So this simple melody is in the 2nd position, as you can see, because I was using the index finger on the 2nd fret, middle finger on the 3rd fret, and the pinky on the 5th fret. But this piece of melody is partially played in the 2nd position and partially in the 4th position. I had to jump up to the 4th position in order to play that note with the pinky. So now that you know the fundamentals, let's take a look at those 5 tips for clean and effortless notes. Tip number 1, finger placement within the fret. Whenever possible, always make sure you keep the finger closer to the higher fret. This will make it much easier to press it and produce a clean note. If you move your finger closer to the lower fret, you have to press it much harder to ensure your note is not buzzy. Okay? So always make sure the finger is closer to the higher fret. I know there are some situations where it's going to be difficult to put all your fingers close to the higher fret, like for example when you're playing the A major chord. As you can see, it's quite difficult to get all 3 fingers close to the higher fret. Even in this situation, you need to try and do your best to get your fingers as close to the high fret as possible. But most of the times, you're just going to have to play this chord for a shorter period of time so you can press it a little harder in order to really make a nice and clean note. But always make sure you don't press it too hard because that hurts and it might get the string slightly out of tune. Tip number 2, always use your fingertip. Playing notes like this, using the flat side of your finger, is not very elegant, quite painful, and you're going to have to press it much harder in order to produce a nice and clean tone. Remember, use the fingertip whenever possible. Tip number 3, always make sure your finger forms a nice arch and do not let it collapse like this. So whenever you play anything, make sure that your fingers form a nice arch like that. It takes much less effort to play clean notes if you use this posture. Try to avoid collapsing fingers. Tip number 4, thumb positioning. The rule of thumb is to keep the thumb behind the fretboard like that, and always 1 fret higher compared to where your index finger is. So if your index finger is on the 3rd fret, make sure that the thumb is roughly behind the 4th fret. This ensures that you can reach nice and far with your pinky without having to readjust the posture. Rule number 5. Always make sure the thumb is perpendicular to the neck. What happens if it's not? If the thumb is parallel to the neck like this, it's going to be very tempting to grab the neck like that, and that's going to introduce a big break in your wrist. That's very uncomfortable to maintain for a long time, and your fingers cannot reach all the way across the fretboard. So if it's really difficult to play something, just make sure that you can't feel the neck of the guitar in your palm. That is an indication of the fact that you're holding the guitar incorrectly. So move the thumb behind the neck, make sure it's perpendicular to the fretboard, and you can play much more easily. So if the guitar is on your right thigh, the thumb should be pointing towards the ceiling. If the guitar is on your left thigh, the thumb should be pointing kind of towards your face. Of course, this doesn't mean guitarists always play like this, because quite often when you're playing something really simple, you can just let the thumb hang over the top of the neck like this. But whenever you encounter something that's complicated to play, then make sure you fix the thumb posture first. So that's it. These are the 5 main tips I have for you to help you play clean and effortless notes for an extended period of time. So make sure you subscribe, press the like button and leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching. Keep practicing. I'll see you next week.